Hey y'all, welcome to Raider Dog Ranch. This video documents the process of getting a well drilled, which is happening on our property in Central Texas where we're planning on building a homestead. A big thanks to Lucy Creek Water Well Drilling Service. They're the ones that you'll see through the video. If you're in the Central Texas area, I highly recommend them. They did a great job. Part of the reason I'm documenting this is because we had a lot of questions. This is the first time we've ever built on bare land and we were unsure of a lot of things, so I thought I'd document it and maybe try to help some other people. One of the first questions we had was, where will they drill? Do they have specific spots? Will they do water finding mechanisms? But in our case, they know the area so well, they basically said, you pick it. It really doesn't matter. We know there's water in the ground here. So you tell us where you want to drill, and that's where we'll start. There was really no requirements at all on specific parts of the area. We've got a 10-acre plot, and they said, pick the area. We're also going to have sewage installed here, so one thing to consider is your water well should be uphill from your sewage system, and it's going to have to be several hundred feet away. Obviously it's much deeper than your sewage would be, but you never want to cross-contaminate that, and they're experts on that. Both the sewage companies and the water companies can steer you toward how to get that laid out. You can expect to have to dig pretty deep in Central Texas. There's not a lot of watershed in this area. We knew that a neighbor had to drill about 500 feet to hit water, and so you need to expect that. It's not an inexpensive process because of how deep they have to go. And you can see they're all set up here on the rig, and they're about to start the drilling. What's happening here is they're injecting air. So there's big compressors on these trucks. I didn't know this until we started the process, but they're pushing air down in the channel as they drill until about 150 feet, and they're going to switch over to injecting their own water to start pumping out the mud and, I guess, softening the ground. But yeah, what they're doing here, all that dust is mostly created because they're pushing air down into the hole. You can see by my camera pan, there's a lot of equipment they bring out for this. There's the water truck there. It's pulling a trailer with a lot of the drill bits or pipes, the drilling truck itself, and then this truck here, the F-150 or F-250, it's carrying PVC pipe that's going to go in for the casing after the well's done. The drilling continues for several hours. You can see the guy there shoveling. They start creating sort of a boundary wall around the hole, because when they start pumping in the water later, they want to steer that water down a channel or a canal, and it's convenient for them because we're on a slope here and they're just going to be able to run it right off of that slope. But really what they do is you can see there they've got another pipe that they're loading on. They pull the rig up, they screw it on. All of it's mechanical. It's pretty fun to watch, and then they start all over again, and the two helpers are really spending a lot of time just sitting and waiting. About every 10 minutes or so, they'll get up and help thread on the next pipe and then sit back and wait. Now the mud is coming out because they are injecting water into the hole. That's the beginning, sort of that white colored clay in Central Texas, that caliche clay. I'm not sure how deep they are now, but you can see the color of the ground is starting to change to a red clay. I think this is where the expertise of the driller comes in. Look at that little cup he's using. It's like a colander or a screen sifter. He's catching the mud coming out of the drill pipe, and he keeps rinsing it in that bucket of water and looking at what kind of ground he's in right now. I didn't get a chance to talk to him about this because I didn't want to interrupt him, but I think he just understands what the ground looks like down there, several hundred feet down, because he did this over and over and finally was happy with where he ended up. We never saw this giant explosion of water like I expected. I thought we would hit it and it would come gushing out. That doesn't happen. There's no pressure down there. That's something else I learned. So the things that you see, like when oil gushes out and things like that, I don't know if oil really does that or not, but any water that you see is the water that they're pushing down into it. It doesn't come bursting out. Now they've reached full depth. They've pulled all of the drill pipe out, and now they're inserting the casing down into the well. So these PVC pipes are going to go all the way to the bottom of the well. They're all connected. in sections, and then they put some masonry type material around it to hold it firm in the hole. There is a process that comes behind this. They'll wait for all this mud to dry, and then they'll send out another team that's going to set up the pump and the tank and everything that goes along with it. Right now it is just a hole in the ground, but that's phase 1. So I'll try to get the other one recorded for phase 2. If you enjoyed this, please hit the like button. If you like this content, hit the subscribe and the notification bell so that you can be notified as soon as new videos come out. Thanks everybody for watching. See you next time.